Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to be learning how to we're going to be learning how to add on a script to one of our game objects. So this is fairly simple, so let's go ahead and jump into our Unity project. So this, all I have here is a simple 2D project. We created this project in our create a prefab tutorial, which was the previous episode, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that and you will land up right where we are now. So all I have here is a simple 2D project. I have opened the scene and all we have is a person, and this is the prefab that we created in the previous episode. So it has nothing on it apart from a rigid body and a box collider. It does nothing at the moment because we don't have a script on it. That's what we're going to learn today. So in order to add on a script, all you have to do is click on your game object, or if you're in if it's not a prefab, then just click on it in the hierarchy. But for now, let's go ahead, because this is one of our prefabs that we created. We'll go ahead and double click on our prefab in our prefabs folder. That will open up the prefab. So now anything that we do into this prefab, it will update to all of our prefabs that we've used wherever they are across our game. So what we're going to do is we want to go ahead and add a script onto our parent game object, which is called the person. So let's go ahead and in our inspector, let's go scroll down to the bottom. If you have all of your components open, just scroll down, we'll go to the bottom and then press on add component, and then in here we can go ahead and just simply type the name of the script that we want to add onto it. So for that, let's just name it person script, and you can see that because this doesn't exist, it's gonna ask us to create a new script. So we can do that, press the next, and then it will come up with a name, that the one that we just typed in. It will assign that the name of our script, and then we can go ahead and create an add. So now you can see here that is created a script, and the script is now called person script, which is what we created. So just to keep our project clean, let's go ahead and create a scripts folder, just like that, and then we can simply drag and drop our script into our scripts folder, and then let us go and open the script. So now if we open this, we will be able to, whatever we write in the script, whether it be telling our person or our game object to move from left to right, or just printing out the name of the object, or handling collisions, it will, as long as the script is attached to the game object, then it will do whatever is in the script. So we're going to do something in the script just to show that it's working, but this is frozen. I don't know why. Okay, it's not. Okay, it is frozen. So we should wait for this to respond. Let us just go and quit that quick, and then we can just go ahead and reopen it. So if we want to open our script, right click and scroll down to open, and then I am using Visual Studio, I think it is, yeah, for Mac. So you could probably use Visual Studio for Windows or whatever editor you prefer, but I prefer Visual Studio because it works nicely with C# and Unity. So in here, whenever you create a script, it comes with two default methods, and that's your start method, which is called at the beginning of the first frame, and the update method, which is called once per frame. So for us, we are not going to need the update method. All we want to do is just let us go and create a very simple method, and let's call this print name. So let's go and say private, and spell it right, private void, because we don't want it to return anything, and let's call this print name, or let's say print game object name and position. So all we want to do in here is just go and say debug.log, and then what we want to do is we want to print. So let's say whenever you say debug.log, debug.log, that's going to print whatever you put inside the brackets to the console. So if we go ahead and say GameObject.name, and then let's go and add a space to that, and then after our space we'll say, oh, we won't say anything, we'll just leave it as a space, and then we can go and say transform.position. So what that's going to do, that's going to print out our game object's name, and then next to it, after it's like put a space in between the two, it's going to print out the position of the object. So we want this to happen at the very start of the game, so when we launch it we want this to print out what we want, so the game object name and the position. So let's go ahead and call this in our start method. So in here let's go and say print game object name and position, and we'll save that, and then we will go back into Unity. And now, so here's our console, so when we play our game you'll see a box will be printed out with the information that we wanted in it. So if we go ahead and play the Unity game, you'll see now there's our person out wall. If we click on our person, you can see the name here is person, so that's good. And the position is, if we go to our position, you can see that our position is at -4, 0.3 and -0.2. So it rounds these to 1 decimal place, so that's correct. And then yeah, all of that's correct. So let's just go ahead and double check this. So if we play our game again, you'll see that it gets printed again. Obviously it's the exact same thing because our player hasn't moved, but you can see it fell off because we have gravity. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's set that to 0. And if we play our game again, you should see the same thing happening, but our player, or our person, no longer falls out of the scene. So that's good. So that is how you add a script to a game object. Obviously you can do a lot more complicated things in the script, like controlling the collisions, playing animations and sounds and stuff, but that's the basic fundamentals of how to add a script onto a game object. So if you enjoyed that video or this tutorial, please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more tutorials coming out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And we also have a game series which we are currently building a clone of Angry Birds, but instead it's called Angry Zombies, where obviously the zombies are replaced by the birds. Or is it the other way? The birds are replaced by the zombies, I don't know, but anyway, you get it. That's going well. We're on our 6th episode, and our final episode should be coming out this week. So if you haven't seen that, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll put the link for the playlist of that series in the description so you can watch it if you want. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. So bye.